morning, I'm Jennifer Lewis Hall.
And I'm Kyrie Stewart. It looks like it could be a stormy Monday.
There is a flash flood watch in effect for most of the area. Let's get right to the latest with Jason Lee. Good morning.
Hey, Jen. Hey, Kyrie. Yep, we've got a rainy Monday in store. The rain will arrive, the heavy stuff, early this afternoon. Most of us will get between 1 and 2 inches of rain. And remember, the ground's already saturated from the rain that we got last week. So the potential is there for a lot of flooding. We've got a flash flood watch posted for most of the region, as Jen and Kyrie said. This takes effect at noon, goes until midnight tonight. And again, we're talking about significant flooding possibilities. Here's our Doppler radar. And we're seeing some areas are getting some light rain. And we're actually following some heavier bands of showers now that have just arrived in parts of Chester County and parts of Newcastle County, Delaware. But the real heavy stuff arrives just after lunchtime. Futurecast shows us that around 1 o'clock or so, we've got this area with this heavy band of showers passing on through. Heavy gusty thunderstorms. Now, unfortunately, not a very quick moving system. So by 5, 6 o'clock, some areas still do have the heavy rain, hence the potential for the flooding that we're talking about. It's finally all out of the way at 1 o'clock tonight. So overnight hours, the system finally clears out of the way. In terms of rainfall totals, again, most of us between 1 inch and 2 inches, but the heavy stuff down along the Jersey Shore, 2 3/4 inches in Atlantic City, Millville, 3.5 inches. So just brace yourselves for the potential for some heavy rain today. 60s and 70s right now. It's 72 degrees in Philadelphia. That's actually above our projected high for the day today. So we'll adjust that, but storms all day long. Jen, we'll check the 7-day coming up.
Thank you, Jason. Sad news this morning as one of the most beloved athletes to ever play in Philadelphia has passed away. Darren Daulton, affectionately known to Phillies fans as Dutch, has died after a 4-year battle with brain cancer. Daulton played 14 years with the Phillies and was a 3-time All-Star. Many look at him as the leader of the 1993 team that went from worst to first and made it to the World Series. In recent years, Daulton worked locally in TV and radio. Darren Daulton was just 55 years old.
Police are searching for a driver who struck and killed a woman in Center City over the weekend. This is the car they're looking for, a white Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. As seen last night on Action News at 10 here on PHL17, police said the Jeep hit 53-year-old Ann Broderick just before 4 o'clock Sunday morning on the 1300 block of Ray Street. Broderick was rushed to the hospital where she was later pronounced dead. Police say the Jeep has a white hardtop and front-end damage. You're asked to contact police if you have any information. A man is behind bars after a carjacking in South Philadelphia. As the Action News team told you last night, right here on PHL17, police say Marquand Pitts used a machete to carjack an off-duty SEPTA worker at 4th and Spring Garden around 4 o'clock Sunday morning. 6 hours later, Pitts was allegedly filling up the car in South Jersey. When asked for a payment, police say Pitts pulled out a stolen gun and said he was a cop. He later led police on a chase that ended on Snyder Avenue in South Philadelphia. Pitts was arrested. He's being charged with impersonating an officer and armed robbery.
An update for you now on that fatal ride accident at the Ohio State Fair. Excessive corrosion is behind the ride malfunction, according to the ride's manufacturer, KMG, which announced the investigation results yesterday, nearly 2 weeks after the accident. They said deterioration on a gondola caused the nearly 2-decade-old Fireball ride to fail, detach, and send several passengers airborne. An 18-year-old rider was killed, 7 others injured. Officials said the ride was inspected hours before the malfunction. The manufacturer says it has worked with regulators to develop a new inspection protocol.
Strict new sanctions have been imposed on North Korea. The weekend action by the United Nations comes as the U.S. Secretary of State attends the same conference as a high-ranking North Korean official. David Daniel has the details.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson did not meet with North Korea's foreign minister Sunday, while both leaders were attending the annual Association of Southeastern Asian Nations Forum in the Philippines. Both men will be in the same room for another scheduled session Monday, but they are not expected to meet privately. Tillerson did, however, meet with his Chinese counterpart Sunday after the United Nations Security Council slapped harsh new sanctions on North Korea over its missile tests. Those sanctions could cost the country 1/3 of its export revenue, approximately $1 billion. The Chinese foreign minister addressed North Korea Sunday, telling them not to conduct missile and nuclear tests and urging all parties not to further escalate tensions. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley said the U.S. is prepared to do whatever it takes on North Korea, while President Trump reacted to the sanctions, tweeting, "The United Nations resolution is the single largest economic sanctions package ever on North Korea, over $1 billion in cost to North Korea." I'm David Daniel reporting.
President Trump is away from the White House for a couple of weeks, but he is not calling it a vacation. The president tweeted about it over the weekend, saying working in Bedminster, NJ, as long-planned construction is being done at the White House. This is not a vacation, meetings and calls. Construction crews at the White House got to work as soon as he left for Bedminster, New Jersey on Friday. The executive mansion is long overdue for an upgrade. It has not had a major renovation since the 1940s. There have been reports of leaky roofs, fly infestations, and a foul odor in the building. White House staffers will be working out of a building next door until the renovations are done. But the president did find some time to crash a wedding over the weekend. He dropped by to say hello to several wedding guests at his resort. Now, some wedding goers there ended up taking selfies with Trump, who was wearing his Make America Great Again hat.
All right. Well, the time now is 5:06 on this Monday morning.
Let's get a check of our traffic on the go with Jenna Meisner. Good morning, Jenna.
Jen and Kyrie, good morning. No surprise here. A very quiet Monday morning on our roadways. Taking a look at our wide map here, a lot of green on our majors. No construction or accidents on them right now, but I want to head way out in Montgomery County where there's a crash in Swanksville that has the road closed. I brought you this earlier, telling you about the police, the fire department, and the EMS on scene. Now that road is closed. That's Park Ave at Pennypacker Road. So a serious accident in that area. If you have to get around that, the PA Turnpike Northeast Extension could be an alternate for you. That's in the green, moving well. So make sure you try to avoid that area right now if you are heading out early. This is our last construction scene that is still lasting this morning on the PA Turnpike, the westbound side between Norristown and Route 29 Easy Pass. 2 right lanes there remain blocked. But again, as it is earlier, our map is fully in the green right now. And I want to remind you again about the Roosevelt Boulevard repaving project. Now that starts at 9 a.m. today, again, Monday through Thursday until 3 p.m. and then later picks up at 7 p.m. at 5 a.m. between Bucks County Line, Red Lion Road, and Cotman Ave and 9th Street. Jen and Kyrie, I'll send it back to you. All
right, thanks, Jenna. Well, up next, Vice President Pence responds to a report. He's thinking about a run for the top job at the White House.
Plus, he caused quite a controversy by staying in a closed state park. Now, Governor Chris Christie is inviting the president to the shore, and we'll have this.
I just to start selling my baseball cards to help him out.
A little boy selling his baseball cards to help his very sick friend. His story coming up on PHL17 Morning News.
If what you see is what you get, then you've hit the jackpot. You can't fake steak. Longhorn Steakhouse. Tonight's special, the Great American Steak Dinner for $12.99. A center cut sirloin with a side, plus a starter or dessert. And for lunch, try one of our new burgers, like the barbecue bacon burger, only at Longhorn.
Why do the best things in life create so much mess? More nights in, more gooey, cheesy dishes. More pie plates. More bake sales. So many good times, so many dirty dishes. Tackle them all with Finish Quantum. Even on the toughest messes, Finish gives you an unbeatable clean. And now get 25% more loads than Cascade Platinum. The choice is clear. Switch to Finish Quantum.
Vice President Mike Pence is blasting a report that he may run for president in 2020. The New York Times said yesterday that Pence would run if President Trump did not seek re-election. But Pence issued a statement saying the article offended him, his family, and his entire team. He also said it's laughable and, quote, absurd to suggest he's not 100% committed to Trump's agenda. The Times quoted multiple advisors and donors as sources. The newspaper also noted Pence's aggressive political schedule and fundraising operation.
After causing a controversy earlier this summer by staying in a Jersey Shore state park that was closed to everybody else, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie says President Donald Trump is welcome anytime at the state-owned beach house.
Look, the president is welcome at the gubernatorial beach house anytime he wants. We would welcome him with open arms for him to come and take some time at the Jersey Shore.
Well, the president is currently spending time at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. No word yet this morning on whether he will or will not accept Governor Christie's offer. Well, up next, a big honor for Tom Brady's mom.
And a comic book character that's being pride to Latino community. We'll talk to the groundbreaking artist.
And in Kyrie's classroom, it's time for some rock and roll. The story next.
Mom, you know how you wanted me to go through the drive-thru? Well, I'm here, but slight problem.
Uh-oh. Better get Mako. Celebrate Mako's 45th anniversary. Coming today for a $345 paint sale. Mako, America's Body Shop.
Looking for a big deal on furniture and mattresses? Everything's on sale at Raymore and Flanagan. Save up to 33% on bedrooms, up to 30% on living rooms, up to $1,000 on mattresses. No interest for 72 months. Yes, it's the big deal sale. It's only at Raymore and Flanagan. Now delivering 7 days a week.
It's true. Mom does have eyes in the back of her head. Terrain's Side Blind Zone Alert helps you see what's hard to see using radar to watch your blind spots. In control like a pro. The GMC Terrain Denali. Or current lessees switch to GMC and get this low mileage lease on this Terrain SLE2 for around $149 per month. We are professional grade. GMC.
You're going to need more than one brush to do what Arm & Hammer Spin Brush can do. With the power of 2 brushes in one, its patented dual-action head both brushes and spins. That's twice the action for one superior clean. Spin Brush, only by Arm & Hammer.
The best way to get together is with the treat you make together.
Hey, Mom, you know how you wanted me to go through the drive-thru? Well, I'm here, but slight problem.
Uh-oh. Better get Mako. Celebrate Mako's 45th anniversary. Coming today for a $345 paint sale. Mako, America's Body Shop.
It's Adam Joseph.
Meteorologist Adam Joseph.
It's the name of that weather guy that I like.
Tune into Action News at 10 to get the forecast from the weather guy Philly likes.
Folks enjoying themselves in the city of Philadelphia.
Then stay tuned for Modern Family. Action News at 10, followed by Modern Family at 11, weeknights on PHL17.
You got that right.
How to be cool when trying a new sport.
I feel cool. Like Puss in Boots.
The Big Bang Theory, tonight at 6:30 and 7 on PHL17. The Big Bang Theory, weeknights at 6:30 and 7 on PHL17.
A Massachusetts boy has been selling his baseball cards to raise money for his friend with cancer. And now doctors have found a second tumor. But as Ashley Alfonso reports, that's made him even more determined to help.
It's been a year and a half since we first introduced you to Brady Kale, who at 9 years old started selling his baseball card collection to raise money for his friend Landon, who'd been diagnosed with brain cancer at the age of 7.
I decided to start selling my baseball cards to help him out, and since February of 2016, we've raised close to $20,000.
Money that's being used to help Landon and his family. Through this effort, the boys were able to do many things together, including throwing out the first pitch at a Red Sox game. But Landon's condition took an unfortunate turn recently.
They actually found a second tumor. The first one was removed, and you know, he's in the hospital and his family's with him, and it's, you know, very, very unfortunate.
Despite Landon's prognosis, Brady is continuing selling his cards for a cause to help his friend however he can.
I'm just going to keep on doing it. It's the right thing to do, and it'll help him out more.
Brady has received generous donations from the community, which are helping him help Landon the only way he knows how.
Brady's heart's aching too, and Cards for a Cause is kind of giving him a way when he feels helpless to be able to help. And I'm grateful for this too, because it gives me a way to help when I feel like there's nothing that I can do to help.
Sweet story.
That's amazing. Well, he's changing the conversation one comic book at a time.
Tamsin Fidel sat down with a New York-based graphic designer to see how his work is giving a voice to millions of Americans.
I thought to myself, what if I could actually create a hero that is actually grounded in reality and actually addressing real-world social issues?
It's a comic book with a conscience and the brainchild of Edgardo Miranda Rodriguez.
I've always been invested and aware about certain issues affecting Puerto Rico, particularly with the debt crisis and environmental issues affecting the island.
So he decided to act through his art.
And I did the cape to actually kind of like mirror and mimic the actual wave motion as well.
By designing a one-of-a-kind female superhero.
La Borinqueña literally translates into the Puerto Rican woman. Growing up, all the heroes in my life were women. My mother, my cousin, my mentors.
Which is why it was crucial that this heroine looked, well, real.
Yeah, I love the dark curly hair because I told you I completely relate to that. But the eyebrows, the skin, the body, the thighs, like everything is real.
And I think that's why so many people are drawn to the character, not just Latinas.
The stories were always an escape for him, growing up in the South Bronx with his 2 siblings and mom.
Sometimes we didn't even have enough money for a meal. So I'd collect bottles and cans and exchange it for nickels that I would use to buy my comic books.
As he got older, Edgardo began embracing and advocating for his own culture. And this year is a pivotal one for his cause.
This is the 100th anniversary right now of the Jones-Shaffer Act, meaning the 100th anniversary of American citizenship that Puerto Ricans have. Some Americans are actually thinking that Puerto Ricans are moving from Puerto Rico here to the United States. It's an immigration problem.
His purpose to educate, from his comics to the classroom to the community.
Do my best to give back and to remind young people that they actually have the potential to go beyond their reality at that moment.
He's also worked with other well-known artists like rapper DMC and Lin-Manuel Miranda to design the cover art for the Hamilton mixtape.
We're not related.
Do people ask you that?
All the time.
Why?
And they ask for tickets.
Why?
Oh, because we're Mirandas and they think every Miranda is related.
While Edgardo is the mastermind behind La Borinqueña, he says it's truly been a team effort. He's only published 1 issue with the second on the way. And you never know, the big screen could be next.
Who's doing the movie role?
I don't know. I mean, she's young. I don't know. She's agile to an extent. Maybe Lori Hernandez. You need an Olympic winner for something like that.
All right, let's see if she's available.
What a great story.
Yeah, the power of art.
His message is powerful, and what an awesome way to honor Latinas. So
yeah, he's a
so
great artist. Like, he draws a lot better than I can.
He's wonderful. Let's head over to Jason for a quick check of the weather right now. Jason, serious stuff headed our way today.
Yeah, absolutely, Jen. We've got this flash flood watch posted for most of the region from 12 noon until midnight tonight. The potential is there for some significant flooding. We take a look at our satellite radar. It's kind of a 2-part system we're dealing with. This is part 1 moving through right now. Some areas are seeing some light rain this morning, and that will continue. But let's pull this out further, and we can see the second part is right here. That's going to be the heavier system that's going to move on through early this afternoon into this evening. And we're talking about some heavy, gusty thunderstorms, a part of that. We'll time it out with PHL Futurecast. Now, the heavy rain arrives just after lunchtime. This is at 1 o'clock, and we see this area with the yellow and the orange. That's the heavy band of showers. Now, it's not a very quick-moving system, so you see by 4 o'clock, lots of us still have that heavy rain, which is why we're anticipating some very high rainfall accumulation totals. Now, the system doesn't totally clear out until we get till past midnight tonight. This is 1 a.m. We can see it's pretty much out to sea at this point, so it's going to be a rough day in terms of the rain for a lot of us, so be careful, especially for the drive home later on. In terms of rainfall accumulation, here's what we anticipate. Most of us will be between 1 inch and 2 inches. 1.5 inches is what we project in Philadelphia, but further south, look at that, over 2 inches in Wilmington, almost 2 3/4 in Atlantic City, 3.5, over 3.5 in Millville, New Jersey. So we're seeing, again, some very high rainfall totals. Right now, as you walk out the front door, it is 72 degrees. Let's check the roads. Jenna Meisner has a look at traffic on the go. Good morning, Jenna.
Jason, enjoy the morning commute now because it is easy. As you said, our evening commute could be a different story. Right now, we are watching the Vine Expressway. Here we are at 24th Street as folks approach the Schuylkill here. You guys know the drill. Of course, we were open this weekend, but overnight construction on the Vine starts again tonight at 11 p.m. until tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. We talk about that every week. But right now, we are moving on the Vine. No problems there. There is a truck fire, though. This is on the New Jersey Turnpike, the southbound side, approaching Route 206, which is exit 7. The right lane there is blocked. We still are moving on the Turnpike, though, so not causing much of a delay just yet. But if it does stick around, sure to cause some problems. So just be mindful of that if you are getting ready to head out. Heading into Montgomery County, a serious crash there in Schwenksville on Park Ave at Pennypacker Road. Now, that road is closed as police, the fire department, and EMS are around scene investigating that crash, so try to avoid that area if you are traveling early in Montgomery County. And reminding you guys about Roosevelt Boulevard, the repaving project there between Bucks County Line and Red Lion Road and Common Ave and 9th Street. That starts at 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. and then picks up again at 7 p.m. until 5 a.m. Some lane closures in that area. That's a check of your traffic on the go.
Checking sports, Cameron Rupp was the late-inning hero for the Phillies, hitting this line drive all the way to the wall. 2 runs scored, giving the Phillies a 3-2 lead, and the Phils held on to win the ball game, snapping their 5-game losing streak. New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady has 5 Super Bowl rings, and now his mom has one too. The Patriots decided to give Galen Brady her own ring. Tom Brady put this throwback picture on Instagram yesterday. He had dedicated this year's Super Bowl to his mother, who completed treatments for cancer back in April. The Patriots overcame a 25-point deficit to beat the Atlanta Falcons. We'll be right back.
Traffic on the Go is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Mandy? Todd. From high school.
Todd, how are you?
You look great.
Thank you.
And that trip to Miami, that looked like fun. That picture of you in the 2-piece had like 100 likes. Well, 101. Your oldest daughter, Stephanie, she is gonna really fill out one day. You want to take a quick selfie?
I gotta go, Todd.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll poke you.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
During our Made to Move 2017 clearance event, you can do endless online research. Or you can take advantage of our best offer ever on an XT5. Don't wait. Our 2017 models will be moving fast. You can drive a car or you can drive a Cadillac. During the Cadillac Made to Move clearance event, get this low mileage lease on this Cadillac XT5 from around $339 per month. Visit your local Cadillac dealer.
C to the O, to the O, to the bowl, to the spoon. Bowl to the spoon, to the mouth of the boy in the room. Room for that goodness, inside him to bloom. Good goes around and around and around. C to the O, to the O on the first day of school. Schooling your sister on why and just how to be cool. Cool if she hangs, you can show her what's good. Good goes around and around and around. Good goes around and around.
Eating this bagel has the same effect on your blood sugar as eating over 7 teaspoons of sugar. We call this the hidden sugar effect. But this delicious Atkins shake, the effect is about this much sugar. You'll love it, and your body will too. Atkins, find your happy weight.
Not the same old. A morning experience that won't put you back to sleep.
Doing Some Good is brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm, InjuryLawyer.com.
This Sunday, 5 race events are happening at Belmont Plateau. The Mayor's Cup came about from a simple observation that Philadelphia has a lot of local running clubs. This year's event includes a half-marathon trail race and a 5K cross-country race as well. Last year, over $16 million was raised for 20 charities. Philly Mayor's Cup posted on Instagram they are excited for year 3 of the event. For more information on this and other great events, head to PHL17.com/doingsomegood.
History, math, and English are all important subjects, but one local summer camp is highlighting the importance of teaching kids music. In this edition of Kyrie's Classroom, I visited a rock and roll camp where kids get to spend their time learning the same music their grandparents listen to. He's no John Lennon, this is no Ringo Starr, and this isn't your average summer camp. Instead of tents and bugs, these kids have the Beatles. Run by the School of Rock in Center City and has been jamming for the past 19 years. Parents dish out around $550 for each of these 10 kids to learn how to play one of the more than 5 instruments and even do some vocals, all over the course of a week. They're between the ages of 7 and 18, and some have never even played before.
You know, the first day we just picked out a bunch of Beatles songs, then we dove right in and started learning them.
Chloe Graffoe was learning how to rock the guitar and said it wasn't easy at first.
It's definitely rigorous because you have to learn a lot of songs in not a long amount of time, but it's definitely worth it when you're rehearsing and it sounds really good.
The instructors work one-on-one with the kids, and sometimes they even have to stop and try again to get it right.
To see the kids' face, I mean, it's priceless. I mean, they're like, wait, what? I couldn't do anything like 3 days ago.
Jace Miller is the organizer. He said this group has learned more than 13 Beatles songs in just the past 5 days. Miller says they're teaching something that some kids might not get in school.
With the music programs and a lot of other arts programs getting cut in schools, this ends up being an outlet that, you know, some schools aren't even offering at all.
And some of them are realizing the importance of working together.
I've learned teamwork, how to act on stage, and that, like, if you mess up, it's still okay.
At the end of the week, the children put on a performance in front of their friends and family, some of whom grew up on the Beatles. Seeing these kids open up is music to Miller's ears.
And it shows them that they are capable of doing some things that they may not have thought that they're capable of.
And I had a newfound love for the Beatles after this story. Like, those kids were great. And just, like he said, some of them, they've never even picked up an instrument before. Right. But after a week, you know, they come out knowing how to play all these songs. So, I mean, they're really amazing.
Jude. Oh, it makes you feel so good. I love it. Jay, I know you've got a Beatles collection at home.
You know, I do. Actually, my daughter sang Hey Jude in her spring concert a couple months ago at school. So it's funny how the Beatles music is timeless. People of all ages love the Beatles. The weather today, not music to anybody's ears. We've got this flash flood watch posted. Goes into effect at 12 noon. Lasts till midnight tonight for the areas here shaded in green. This encompasses most of the area. We're going to see some heavy rain, and we could see some significant flooding. Let's get right to Futurecast, and we put this into motion. We see the heavy stuff arrives just after lunchtime. Now, some areas will get some light rain this morning, but the heavy stuff arrives at 1 o'clock or so this afternoon. And again, we're talking some heavy gusty thunderstorms. Now, at 4 o'clock, a lot of us still have the heavy rain in their picture because this is not a quick-moving system. It's going to move very slowly, which is why we anticipate some high rain totals. It's out of the way finally after midnight tonight. This is 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's fully out of our picture finally. In terms of what we expect, most of us between 1 and 2 inches of rain. But we go further to the south, especially Millville, 3.5 inches. So some areas will see over that 2-inch mark, but most of us will be between 1 inch and 2 inches. Right now, 60s and 70s across the region, 72 degrees. And that will be actually our high today. Showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Be prepared for that, especially for the drive home later on. Let's check the road. Speaking of the drive, Jenna Meisner has a look at traffic on the go. Hey, Jenna.
Hey, Jason. Right now, we are smooth sailing on our Philadelphia majors. Our speeds are way up in the 50s and 60s still, and our drive times, they're in the teens. As you can see on our wide map here, we are fully in the green, so no problems there. A different story if you are heading into Delaware, though. A crash there on 295 southbound at Delaware Memorial Bridge. One lane is blocked, so if you're getting ready to head over that bridge, be prepared to slow down just a bit from that accident. And on the New Jersey Turnpike, still watching this truck fire on the southbound side at Route 206, excuse me, that's exit number 7. The right lane there is blocked, but not causing much of a delay because it is still early. And still watching this crash here in Montgomery County, Schwenksville, Park Ave at Pennypacker Road. That road remains closed as crews work on that scene. The accident there, a pretty serious one, causing some problems in that area. So if you're traveling in Montgomery County, try to avoid this area at least for now. And a reminder for you about the Roosevelt Boulevard resurfacing project between Bucks County Line and Red Lion Road and Cottman Ave and 9th Street. That picks up again this morning at 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. and then 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. Some lane closures in that area. Jen and Kyrie, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Jenna. Stay with us, folks. We've got a lot more still ahead in our next half hour.
And just a reminder, if you're looking for news tonight, check out Action News at 10 here on PHL 17. It's the most watched 10 o'clock newscast in Philadelphia. We'll be right back.